Oh, I didn't see you there. My apologies. Well, since you're here, make sure you... Yeah, I know. I'm working on a video right now. Look, I'm seriously, I'm doing it right now. Whatever. Bye, Woody. Woody's a pain, man. Woody is a pain. So, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you want to watch this video, please stick around because this one's very special. You ever wondered why in Toy Story 2 there's like a few potholes if you think about it? You know, Woody doesn't know what Woody's Roundup is. Most popular toy show of that time. You know, when it came out in 1957 or something like that, what it was. And why Owl is like so static, you know, so rare. They only have a Woody. Why would it be so rare? But all the other stuff, it's like, you know, I guess easy to come by. I don't know. Why does Andy wear a Jesse hat in the first film? Why don't we see Andy's father? Why don't we, you know, just so much potholes. But I have the solution to all those potholes and more. And it's not just a theory. This is an actual fact given to our world by Mike Fritz, who works for Disney, and actually talked to Joe Rams at their Pixar Brain Trust. He was the head writer of all the stories. Unfortunately, passed away in 2007, but he is the one that told this story to Mike. And then I saw a video of Super Carlin brothers talking about this story. So if you want to watch their video as well, by all means, go watch their video. But this is just amazing. It's a little bit sad, but amazing. I now have merchandise for sale. Link in the description down below for these designs and more. Let's get back to the video. So, one of the things is, you know, why is Andy so... Cut it out, dude. One of the things is, why is Woody so rare as a toy? Well, Al, you know, depicts him as this, you know, crazy rare toy. So the story goes that back in 1956, 57, you know, whatever this time period was, that Andy's father would have been a kid. Andy's father, you know, loved the show, you know, presented by Cowboy Crunchies as Woody's Roundup. Yes, it was presented by the cereal company, the TV show. So the toys and everything else was just a big promotion to sell more cereal. So Andy's father loved the show and he watched it all the time. So they did a promotion for the Woody doll. They said if you collect 25 box tops and mail them in, we'll give you this toy. So Andy did what he could. He didn't collect 25 of them, but he collected as many as he could. because his family was a little bit poor. His father actually worked for Al's father of Al's big toy barn on Al's father's farm. Hence why his toy store is about a barn, because he grew up on a farm. So Al actually was in the same classes, anything like that, as a kid with Andy's father. And Al would actually bully Andy's father. He's a jerk. So, that being said, his family was a little poor, so he couldn't collect all the box tops. And then Sputnik, the actual Sputnik in history time, went up to outer space. And now all these kids, all they want was space toys. They don't care about cowboys anymore. I mean, the prospector even said it. So, Andy did this anyway. He sent all the box tops he collected, put them in an envelope, wrote a big letter saying, I'm Woody's favorite deputy, I love the show, all this other stuff, and he sent it anyway. Now, other kids also did send their box tops in. But because the Sputnik went up and the canine country, just Dalmatians, Cowboys, Crunchies, was kind of going out of business and didn't really have the production value that they originally wanted. So they only made one prototype of Woody for the promotion. Like, say, hey, look, this is the toy that you're going to get. You know, we have it. You know, said it. So they weren't expecting to get all this stuff sent in of kids that wanted a cowboy toy. So the company was like, you know what? They tossed it. They threw that out. Don't even worry about it. Just send the kids a space toy. They'll be happy. The secretary was like, no. The kids aren't going to like it. So she went through all the letters and she found Andy's letter with his box tops and she fell in love. She said, this kid deserves that toy. So she sent Andy the Woody doll. The one and only Woody doll. That's why he's so rare. That's why he doesn't know about the show, because he wouldn't have been playing with Andy's father, you know, watching the show at the same time. So he wouldn't have had that memory of that show or anything. He just knows that he's Woody the Cowboy because that's what Andy's father would have called him. Which, by the way, Eddie's father is actually also named Andy. So I think Eddie may have wrote Andy on the foot, not Andy that we know. Possibly. So, think about that. The show was canceled before Andy got the toy. So Andy has the one and only ever Woody in existence. That's why it's so rare. That's why when Al saw it, he probably knew, like, you know, why'd you get it? You know, he probably got mad at him in school, like, you know, why do you get to have it? That's not fair. So grown up, and then he went to the taxi and he saw it. Oh, finally get rid of it. Bam. That's why. So that's that plot hole. Now the other plot hole that we see is, why is, you know, now one of our little theory, this is not part of the actual story, but one of the theories is that Andy wears Jesse's hat in the first film. We can clearly see the exact same hat that Jesse wears in the Toy Story 2 film. The theory is that Andy's mom was also a fan of the show, and she had a Jessie doll, and she is the one that left the doll behind that we see in Toy Story 2. And she kept the cowboy hat though and gave it to her son, because there was probably no Woody hats at the time because they, you know, canceled the show. The other thing is why don't we see Andy's father? Now, if Andy's, you know, father played a big role in, you know, our childhood and, you know, making these movies possible, why don't we see him? That's because he had polio. Yes, there was a vaccine, there was a cure, and there was all this stuff for it when he had it, and he survived, obviously. But because he had polio, they had to burn all of his toys. And this is actually a true thing taken from the story that given to us by Joe. And they had all the stuff in the front yard ready to burn. Young Andy would crawl out there with the use of neither of his legs, desperate to get 3 toys. 3 very special toys that are the closest to his heart that he wants to make sure that don't get burned. And that was Slinky Dog, Mr. Potato Head, and none other than Woody. And now you're probably thinking, okay, well, how can we see all these pictures of Andy in the house and just Andy? There's not really much about, family pictures and this, that. That's because they're not in Andy's house. Well, they're not in Andy's house. They're in Andy's house. So, Andy was born in Seattle. After something happened, he came down with like a post-polio syndrome that makes polio a lot worse. Unfortunately, he died from this. But if you think about it, he died, and in the first film we see that Andy has a younger sister who was only like 14 months, so it hasn't been a long time since Andy's father passed away. It's only been a few months. So Andy should be distraught, but he's not, because of Woody. Because his father gave him Woody and said, "This is the most valuable treasure of my life." So before Andy's father died, he said, "Go upstairs and grab this chest. This chest holds my most valuable treasure as a kid, and I want you to have it." When Andy came downstairs, his father had already passed, unfortunately. So Andy forgot about it for a few days until he found the key that his father had for this chest. He opened the key and opened up and saw Woody, Slinky Dog, and Mr. Potato Head. And that's why he just cherishes those toys most of all. And yeah. And if you're wondering, there's a portrait on Andy's house wall of his, that shows Andy with glasses. But Andy doesn't wear glasses. His father did, because it's a symptom of polio. It makes you have worse vision. So the house that they are in the films isn't their house. It is the house that Andy's dad grew up in. So it's Andy's house, but it's not Andy's house. You get what I'm saying? So when you see the movie truck, you wonder why is the movie truck so empty? Because it's not their house. They didn't need to take a lot of stuff because there's a lot of stuff already there when they moved. So when they moved to a new house, they were gonna have to, I guess, buy new stuff. So yeah, I know it's a lot of information to take in, a lot of different things that, make sense when you actually think about it. So what I want you to do, after you watch my video, thank you, go check out Super Combo video. I'll leave a link in the description down below. They go into a lot more detail. They have video clips from like Fritz talking about it, and it's just really awesome. They actually would inspire me to create this video, not just Woody calling me every 10 minutes, telling him to make a video about him. I mean, like, really, Woody, relax, man. That's gonna do it for today. Make sure to like button, make sure to subscribe button, and check out these 2 videos up here. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.